Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I want to talk about some stuff that has actually sort of come out. I'm not going to talk about what was released or what I guess technically leaked out there online, because I'm just not going to do that. Like sometimes if it's like little tiny things, I don't mind talking about it because it's like, I mean, it's exciting, right? Like there's stuff like that where I think, if they know that they're shooting outdoors and they know fans are going to be watching and taking photos and stuff, like they know that stuff is going to be released online, right? And that's sort of the discussion here that I want to get into. So I want to talk about some of the stuff that has sort of come out, or at least talk about like why there's so much out there, but nothing really officially released. And I just want to kind of get into all of that because it's honestly really crazy, very, very spoilery, but I do promise that I'm not getting into anything like that. Like I'm not going to spoil the show or anything like that. It sucks that I had to see those photos, but I promise you that I'm not going to spoil anything like that. So before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. Now, I do want to touch on one thing from my last video, which is apparently Raise the Dead isn't actually the title. I think it's sort of the rumored title out there right now. I remember a long time ago, I saw a photo with like a hat or something, so I don't know if they're using that and if that is going to be the actual title, but right now it seems like that's sort of the assumed title. People are going with that, but we have no idea right now. It's just sort of like, yeah, I guess we'll see what the title is. Probably at Comic-Con, I think they'll announce everything, or maybe beforehand. I always assume they're going to announce everything at Comic-Con, but a lot of stuff does drop before that. Like, it's just sort of random too. Like, you never know when they're announcing stuff. I just get a bunch of people like tweeting at me or messaging me saying, oh, this thing got released sort of thing. So it is kind of random, but I'm expecting Comic-Con for sure. We'll get the title for this show and a bunch of other shows. And also, according to a lot of people, I've been seeing some rumors online. Like season 2 is apparently filming like in the next like week or something like that, which I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like I have no confirmation of that, and I've been seeing people say at some point this month they're going to be filming season 2, which is just like, I mean, yeah, that just I guess so. I don't know. Like they haven't even announced season 2 yet, so unless they are planning to do it, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like they could announce it this week. I mean, it's very possible that maybe they're just assuming that people are going to think that they're still filming season 1 or something. But then again, I don't even know who is confirming that they are filming season 2. Because again, there's just so many rumors online. I personally am not really like believing any of it yet until it's officially confirmed. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, over the next month, like literally, they might not film anything for the Daryl show, and these rumors will just, because there's always so many rumors of everything. Like there's always rumors of this or that, and it ends up just not being the case. So we'll have to wait and see. Who knows? Maybe they are actually filming season 2. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But there's a lot of leaks right now for these shows, and it's something that is really hard to avoid, and it feels like it's the worst it's ever been, really. Like honestly, like I've been covering this show for a while, and there would be leaks here and there for some stuff, but like these shows are getting so much attention. I will say though, for Dead City, there's not a lot of stuff out, but for Daryl Dixon and for the Rick and Michonne show, there is so much stuff that's out there right now, especially for the Rick and Michonne show. Before we get into that though, I do want to say in terms of the Daryl show, I did see a lot of stuff that came out, and a lot of that stuff looks like official footage. So like, I'm guessing they're planning to release a teaser trailer at some point really soon. I mean, I think that would be really cool. I hope we do get something soon. But I think right now they're just focusing obviously on Fear and Dead City, because I think they want to really promote those shows. But I'm guessing the footage that we saw is something that is likely going to drop around the release of Dead City, maybe. I'm not entirely sure what they're planning to do with all of that, but I will say it's just with all the stuff coming out, like it really makes it so hard to avoid, especially for the Rick and Michonne show. Now, I'm not going to be getting into what was actually released or what was actually, online. Like that's the thing too. Like, can you say this stuff was leaked online? Because fans are there, they're allowed there, and they're allowed to take photos. They can post photos of whatever they want. So like to me, this stuff it's fine. Like it's fine to post online and whatnot. It's just my problem with it is that it's so spoilery. And obviously for some people, they really do like spoilers. Like I know for some, spoilers are a lot of fun, and I do get it because I used to follow spoilers. And not even that, like for the Rick and Michonne show, when I saw a few things, at least like a couple of weeks ago, that sort of was online, I got really excited about that. I couldn't really avoid looking at it. Like I tried to not look at it, but we haven't gotten any information in so long that when I saw those photos, I was like, oh man, that looks so good. And then yesterday, a lot more stuff came out. Way too much came out, like way too much. And now you know when certain big moments are going to be happening, at least, you know, episode wise. And it's just something that like is honestly insane. It's really like, I don't know how they should handle that. That's the thing. I don't know how they should handle these massive leaks, because this is something that is pretty spoilery. The question of maybe, you know, should they post a teaser or something like that? Like, that is something that I feel like, yeah, I guess you could. The one thing I think they should do is maybe update some stuff, like probably like release some character portraits. I know it's a little early, especially if that Rick and Michonne show isn't going to be coming out for a while, but just something with how the characters look in like that first episode, or something like that. Because I think for fans, you know, that is something that is a lot. It is really exciting, and I think people would really, honestly, really enjoy that. But then again, like, if you do look at most TV shows and most movies, like, there's photos and videos of these shows and movies filming, you know, like, for almost every show and movie. Like, it's out there. For The Last of Us, I know there was a lot of stuff for that. There is a lot of stuff with Marvel. Like, this stuff just kind of happens a lot. I guess I'm not used to it, you know, with The Walking Dead, because it hasn't happened in a while. I think the last time it was so public like this was probably in season 9. Like season 8, season 9 is where stuff was really coming out a lot. And then it went quiet for a while, but now it's just so intense. Like, there's just so much out there right now. It is really hard to avoid, you know, and I think that's the thing for the Rick and Michonne show. There's big moments that I was really, really hoping just to wait and see for the show, you know, and now I know when those moments are likely going to be happening, like roughly anyways. You know, it's not going to be a finale event thing. So it's something that, you know, I guess it does change my perspective on what the story is going to be and how they're going to do all of this. So I'm overall really wondering now about the story, certain elements of the story when it comes to Rick and Michonne anyways. And again, I can't really get into anything here just because of spoilers. Like, I really do not want to spoil anything. I don't want to like reference it. And I know me doing a video about this is going to raise awareness to it. People are probably going to go online and look now, but I mean, this stuff is everywhere. You go on Twitter, it's just everywhere right now. And yeah, it is something that, like, I mean, I guess it's a problem if you view it as a problem, right? And personally for me, I don't really view it as a problem. But there is a part of me that is like, it is a problem, I guess, if they don't want those spoilers out there. But then again, like, it's not like they're taking precautions and like they're blocking a certain amount of the set away, right? Like, fans are able to get so close to where they're filming, this stuff is going to happen. So to me, maybe that tells me that they don't really mind this stuff getting out there because it creates a lot of buzz. And that could be what it is, right? Like, you see some stuff like this, it does create so much buzz. And look at that, I'm doing a video on it, you know, and it's sort of free marketing in that sense for this show. Like, they don't even have to really do anything, right? Like, we can't hear what they're saying. We don't know what's happening in the story. Yeah, we see certain characters, but like, overall, we don't know what's actually happening. So maybe this is actually the strategy, right? Like, maybe this is actually something that is or has been proven to be successful, because it does create a lot of buzz. I mean, could you imagine if it was just like dead quiet right now and there was no talk of any of this? Like, the Rick and Michonne show is so highly anticipated, it's crazy. So many people who aren't even, like, obviously you have your Walking Dead fans, like your hardcore fans that are always going to watch, but so many people who aren't even, like, you know, who haven't watched the show in a long time are going to check this show out because they love Rick. Like, so many people tuned out after Rick left the show. They're all coming back to watch this show. And it's like, all of this buzz online really is just creating a lot of intrigue, because, like, I'm telling you, anything with Denai Guerrera or Andrew Lincoln, and they're trending on Twitter right away. Like, they're trending immediately. And it's crazy. You know, like, I always go back to last Comic-Con. Like, last Comic-Con, they announced the Rick and Michonne show just completely overtook The Walking Dead season 11's attention. Like, it literally just overtook that entire show. Like, Rick and Michonne are bigger than The Walking Dead almost, right? Like, that was all anyone was talking about. No one was really talking about the final season. And I just think that, man, like, once this trailer comes out, like, it feels right though. Honestly, it does feel right. Because I remember last year at Comic-Con, I did have excitement for the final season, but my interest was in the Rick stuff. Like I was really interested in just like seeing him again. And the finale is really great. Why? Because we saw Rick and Michonne again, right? Like obviously there's some other stuff as well, but that part of it is just like the best part of it. So yeah, you know, in terms of these leaks coming out and stuff, like it's something that I guess is just going to happen. And it's something that I can view it as a problem, but then again, it does create a lot of buzz online. Personally, for me, I can't avoid, like there's no way for me to avoid it. Like people tag me and stuff a lot. So there's just no way, like I'll get messages and everything. People just sort of like, they want me to see it. And of course I don't want to see it. Some stuff I don't mind though. And the thing is, it's not even like people tagging me in it. Like I'm just going on Twitter and I'm going to see it on there. So like, it's something that like, you know, definitely for sure, for me, it makes no sense to complain about it. It's going to happen. I'm expecting it to happen. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I think these leaks are really crazy. I still can't believe that this stuff is out there. And again, I know I'm being very vague, but I just don't want to get into it. I don't want to talk about this stuff because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who, you know, who hasn't seen it. It's just that it's interesting that like this stuff can just be out there like that, right? And it's just, yeah, it's interesting. And I will say in terms of the Daryl Dixon show as well, and you know, the rumors for that getting a season 2, we'll have to wait and see on that. I mean, obviously we're going to find out at some point. I've been seeing some people say it could even be, you know, like, or they could be filming in May. So if it's not this month, maybe next month. I guess it depends. I mean, I will say in terms of that show, it's very possible that there's like this special, you know, sort of filming structure that they're sort of like sticking to because they're filming in France, right? And maybe they have to use certain locations for whatever, and it's more of a timing issue. So maybe that's why they're doing season 2 right away. Because it does seem crazy, like season 1 hasn't even aired yet. But like that's the thing with these shows, I'm already expecting a second season. For the Rick and Michonne show, like that's the show where I'm like, could they do a second season? And I think a lot of it, I know people are saying it's a limited series. It's only 6 episodes. Limited series get renewed all the time for additional seasons. It always happens. Like it happens all the time. Loki was a limited series thing, and then now it's been renewed for season 2. So like, you know, I know they're saying it like that, and I think it's because they want to create it like this special event, and we'll see where the story goes. We'll see where that goes. I do think Rick and Michonne, that show is, you know, it's going to be a really big show. I really, just because of how big the story is, there's going to be a season 2 for sure. I don't know about a season 3. So in terms of the Rick and Michonne character, the future of those characters, we'll have to see where things end. Because does that mean that these characters just survive now, right? Like, imagine if Rick or Michonne died in like this show. We spent years trying to reunite them, and then they reunite, but in the end they die anyways. Like, we just kind of have to see what happens with that, right? And if these characters reunite earlier in the series, what if that means that one of those characters are going to die in the finale of this show then, right? Like, we're just going to have to wait and see, because it depends on what they're planning to do with all of that. And again, there's other characters that need to reunite with Rick as well. So there's just so much untold story that if this was a 1-season thing, after the show aired, people will be asking like, well, what about Rick and Daryl? I want them to reunite. Like, we got to see that. So the questions are always going to be nonstop, right? And I doubt they're just going to avoid it. Like, if anything, they'll probably have to come out and say, well, no, we're just done. Like, you know, unless Andrew Lincoln wants to come back and do more. And that's the thing. I think he's going to want to, because I think he wants to say goodbye, you know, to Daryl, or have his character sort of have like final scenes with Daryl, with Carol, and all of that. So there's so much here. There's honestly so much here. And I'm excited to see what's going to come of this show. But anyways, in terms of the focus of this video, yeah, just so many rumors. There's so much stuff out there right now. Like, if you're wanting to avoid it, honestly, like it's really impossible. It is really impossible. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.